B4. Interviews and negotiations with industrial or commercial prospects or agents of industrial or commercial prospects by a governing body of political subdivision. And B19, to have communications with an attorney that are subject to the attorney-client privilege. I would just ask council for a motion to certify that those are the only matters that were discussed and that no other matters were discussed during executive session.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
And then there's no final action on the executive session, so you're good to move on with the rest of your.
Okay. Next on our agenda is the amended resolution for the Lawrenceburg Conservancy District.
Yes, so you've, council previously had a discussion of a really, I think, productive discussion in regards to a request from the Lawrenceburg Conservancy District and ultimately approved a contribution of $420,000 as matching funds for grants that the LCD was going after. After that, Mr. Eubank reached out to me. He is here today in case you guys have any questions for him. Their grant writers had requested an amendment to the resolution. The resolution as drafted did indicate that the grant from FEMA or a FEMA-backed program, and they asked that limiting language be modified to any federal or state agency or through a grant program administered by such agency. And then also, right before we started tonight, Councilman Wright noticed that if you look at the bottom whereas paragraph on the front page, it kind of looks like I just stopped writing there. And there was a portion of that paragraph missing. So that now says ensures the continued safety and economic vitality of the city of Lawrenceburg. So I went ahead and made that change also since that was caught. Thank you, Glenn.
Could you read that one more time, Andy?
The whereas.
Yes.
So that last whereas paragraph now reads the whereas the LFPP, which is the Lawrenceburg Flood Protection
I'm sorry,
Project,
just the last sentence that was left off.
the continued safety and economic vitality of the city of Lawrenceburg, semicolon, and that came from the resolution that Lawrenceburg adopted. So this would be amended joint resolution 2026-004A.
Okay, so you need a motion to approve, and then we need to sign it.
Yes, please. And I will we'll take it to the commissioners at the next commissioners.
Is there a motion to approve this amended resolution 2026-004A?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Dan. Is there a second?
Oh, second.
Thank you, Dennis. Any discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
And Councilman Lansing is going to send the corrected one down.
Thanks, council. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So we'll take a minute to get signatures before we go on.
Yeah, see. Take care, Jared.
Is it coming down for signature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And then Colin, you'll take it?
Yes.
Thank you, Colin. Next on our agenda is additionals, and the first one is juvenile center part-time for $43,060.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so we're looking for an additional $40,000 for part-time funds. We just had a stretch where we've had a kind of rotational opening for full-time, so we've constantly been supplementing a full-time position that hasn't been filled with part-time. There's also been other things as far as we had to take kids to the ER, which sometimes it's been a 24-hour stay for staff, things like that, where we've had to extend what we're able to basis. So we're asking for 40,000 to help cover rest of the time for our part-time staff.
So these are ER visits, that's pretty much out of the ordinary, and
It is, especially extensive because we've had instances with juveniles where they did self-harm. And so we had to, when we do that, whenever they're out of the facility, we have to have staff with them 24/7.
is there some trend going on or some?
No, it happens occasionally. I mean, I mean, last year, maybe twice, we may have had to go to the ER. I mean, we've corrected a lot of behavior as to where in the past. I mean, at least once a month, we were taking kids to the ER for a broken hand, for punching a wall, things like that. But yeah, so it's just, this was a little more serious. But in the end, it was fine. It was taken care of, but it's just things like that where you don't prepare for that many extra hours for, for staff to be occupied.
So our expectation is this will take you to the end of the year.
Yes,
Okay.
that is the expectations.
Anyone have any questions?
Josh, you mentioned some part-time people filling in for a rotating vacancy. Are you accruing any funds in the full-time portion of payroll, or is this all in the same?
Kind of all in the same, yes.
Okay.
So you're not seeing any savings in personnel at all?
Not really, because what happens is we fill the full-time position and then another one will open. I mean, really, the hardest shift for us to fill is evenings, full-time, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So it's hard to find people that are willing to work that shift. So it's just a constant till we find the right fit. I mean, for the most part, we've got a very good core. We got some of the staff that have been there for a long time, but it just seems like, it's not a job that anybody can do. Right? I mean, it requires patience. You have to be stern and forceful when need be, dealing with juveniles. So like I said, for the most part, staff's doing an excellent job, but it just seems that we find somebody and then now we have another position that opens up because we can't seem to keep it filled.
Any other questions?
No, instead of 40,000, actually you want 43,060.
Yeah, well, I think the actual amount, I just have here 40,000,
It's FICA and things like that.
right, taxes,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Well, good.
Move we approve the $43,060, 40,000 out of 11,400 and 3,060 out of 17,100.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Dennis. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Prosecutor?
My request tonight is to fill a open vacancy, well, I've just filled it with a new deputy prosecutor. The deputy prosecutor that had the position was from down in Kentucky, down in Georgetown, and had been commuting. He was working part-time in the office 3 days a week. And he ended up finding another position closer to home, working for the Kentucky cabinet down there. So as a result, it was a bit of a search to find somebody, and I was able to seize a deputy prosecutor from Hamilton County, Ohio. So we've just now worked through the process of getting her licensed here in Indiana. And the attorney who left was receiving a salary here from Dearborn in the amount of $64,250, and portion of the salary on top of that was also coming from Ohio County. And he was receiving benefits. And now the person that I'm hiring, I'm asking for an additional $20,000 from Dearborn County. And I have pulled off some information from the State Prosecuting Attorneys Council webpage as to vacancies across the state. I believe there's 15 vacancies when I pulled this information this morning. Just to kind of give an idea for salary range as to what the starting salary is for deputy prosecutors. It's ranging from the high eighties to $100,000. The attorney that I've hired, her name is Amanda Johnson. She's an attorney and has been for the past 12 years. She worked for the US Department of Justice as a paralegal when she was in law school. Worked for Kenton County Prosecutor's Office, and then did some civil practice for Taft in Covington, Kentucky, and then went to the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. So she's experienced, and as you can tell from the other job postings, I'm seeking to get her salary to $100,000 in total between Dearborn and Ohio counties, which is about what the going rate is for an attorney with at least 12 years experience. When you see that the starting salary is ranging from 90,000 to 96,000 for some first-time graduates out of law school. So it's definitely a different market than what it used to be.
There's just a shortage of attorneys.
There's a shortage.
Which is-
It's not easy to
For a lot of
get.
people, that's a really good thing, but financially, it's not a good thing.
Well, and the downside is, to be perfectly honest, Dearborn County has often been, much of the turnover you've seen in law enforcement hasn't been any different for the prosecutor's office. You get people through the state prosecuting attorney's website. We had a couple of attorneys from northern Indiana, from Lake County and LaPorte County. And then after they hear for maybe 3-4 years, they want to go back home. They don't want to be here anymore because of family obligations and commitments. And so it actually worked out well that they had a new prosecutor appointed over in Ohio that has contrary, I think, beliefs with regards to public safety than what many of the deputies were. So a lot of them were looking to leave and have left in Exodus over in Hamilton County, Ohio. So it works out well that she's local, or she lives over in Cincinnati. So I think the likelihood of her staying here for a longer period of time is a better fit. So that's the request tonight.
Any other questions for?
How many deputy prosecuting attorneys do you have in your office?
So myself and John Watson, our salaries are paid by the state, and then I have Jessica Butler, I have Jonathan Kunkel, Brendan Jones, Jeff Wilson, and John Kellerman, and Missy Scholl, 6, and now with the new attorney, 7.
They all about this wage?
Our salaries are, they're in the 90,000s for those that are full-time, and those that are part-time, meaning they're working 3 to 4 days a week, they're less than that. Yeah. And there's Missy Scholl does child support, and John Kellerman does some Dearborn County as well as Ohio County, and he's part-time, and then Jessica Butler's more part-time as well.
Is child support reimbursable? Is part of that reimbursed?
Yes, up to 80% of salary
Okay.
by the feds. I think that's right, it's 80%, that's something, 60s, okay. I thought it sounded high.
I think it's like
Thank you.
2/3, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so the prosecutor has an experienced attorney who's looking to transfer to Dearborn County, Denver and Ohio County, in the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor needs an additional $23,770 for the new hire. Is there a motion to approve her request?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
So
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you for the additional information. That's pretty amazing.
It is helpful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Public defender for the Superior Chief.
Judge requesting $45,000 for public defender money and her fees, the right now, they're almost depleted, the funds right now that she was looking for 26. She said she's had several higher level felony cases with complex issues so far this year. And the fees just keep going up to pay more.
I know today we had a meeting that involved Judge McLaughlin, and she, because of her court situation today, was probably 45 minutes late for the meeting. So she's apparently going through a lot of heavy stuff. And of course, it is marked as required by law.
Yeah.
So the question is that either county general or out of riverboat contingency. I would rather do it out of county general. Because
We approved the 45,000 out of county general.
is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is planning and zoning.
Good evening, Nicole Daly, Director of Planning and Zoning. So. All right. I'm here tonight asking for $9,000 in legal services. This would be addition to not our retainer, but on additionals when we have to do research or ask our attorney for research and additionals. We've actually held off on some of our enforcement cases going to code court because we're leery about the funding. We've had so much additional research by our attorney because of the solar ordinances and research and moratorium that we've gone through a lot with our attorney through that. So, and we're looking at this lasting us to the end of the year, but this will at least help us move forward with some enforcement cases. We've just tried to continue sending letters as we do to not add additional cost until we got to this point to see if we would have to kind of push any legal action with some of our higher enforcement cases.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the 9,000 for planning and zoning for legal services
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
out of county general?
Yeah.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other questions or? Not all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Nicole. Redevelopment Commission.
Yes.
Sorry, I was eager. Good afternoon. I'm here this afternoon to ask you for permission to spend some of our money, money belonging to the redevelopment commission. It's $100,000. We've been requested by the park board to donate this as a match for a grant from the Department of Natural Resources, where they can get up to $1 million if they have enough match. And this 100,000 would be part of the match that goes toward raising that $1 million for the park board for the Bright Meadows Park. We've discussed this in the redevelopment commission. The redevelopment commission has voted to provide the $100,000 for the park board, and now we just need your authority to spend that money.
Okay, and I believe the vote was unanimous, wasn't it?
I'm sorry.
The vote was unanimous to
It
do
was
this.
unanimous, yes.
Liz, could I add that this matches do that Stellar Pathways program? That's part of that.
Right, thank you. Is there a motion?
Can
to-
I ask one question?
Absolutely.
What's the 100,000, what's the revenue stream? Where that comes from?
It's our cash account.
This does not come out of TIF money. We have several funds. I don't have the county with me today. One of the funds is a cash account. We have enough to take care of this.
We allow redevelopment to utilize 100,000 of their money to participate in the park program for matching funds for a grant.
Is there a
Second.
second?
How much money do you spend on that park over there?
How much is the
How much money do you spend on the Bright Park?
grant? The Bright Park would be up to $1 million. they have to raise $1 million to get that million. And this is just a part of the match. You may remember that we came before you one time, a couple months ago, asking for the same thing. The park has not been able to raise enough to get that $1 million match, so they've asked us for an augmentation. And that's what this money is. It's an augmentation, to bring them hopefully up to getting the full match for the park.
Thank you. Did you second, Doug? We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments?
Have you tried any type of, or has the park board tried any type of fundraising projects towards the new park?
I'm not familiar with that.
Mr.
They
Dean,
just come to
Mr.
us
Dean
and-
speaking on behalf of planning and
Redevelopment
redevelopment, but
Commission.
yeah, so park board came, if you remember, a couple years ago, wanted to improve the trail. And we asked the exact same question and we all agreed, yeah, let's do some work. They raised some private funds from other folks, worked with the Dearborn Community Foundation to raise some funds. They have 6 or 7 partners now who have contributed funds towards the match. And redevelopment would like to be a partner in matching that as well to double the money because of the Stellar program.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Hey, hey,
Let's do it.
just me, I don't know, I think just me and Danny,
Just you and Dennis.
yeah. No, I'm day 2. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Dan,
Nay.
Glenn,
No.
Dennis,
No, no.
Mark,
Yay.
Tim,
Yay.
Doug.
Yay.
I vote yes. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the St. Elizabeth Cancer Center.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. How you doing?
Good afternoon, I'm E.G. McLaughlin. I'm here with Celeste Calvado and Terry Bogan with the St. Elizabeth Dearborn Cancer Center. And we're here tonight or this afternoon to request the third out of the 4 installments of $250,000 that the council had approved or had pledged 3 years ago. We're going to change up the presentation a little bit. You won't have to listen to much about with me talking, so it's going to be good for you. But we wanted to show how the county's pledge has blessed the community. So we're going to start off with Celeste, and she's going to tell her story. You've heard that. Then Terry's going to give statistics of how the cancer center is done. And then we have some special guests that we're going to ask to come up and speak. Celeste?
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you hearing E.G. and I again on this, just to start it off with. I was honored to speak at the groundbreaking of the cancer center, not only as someone who's helping out with fundraising, but I became a cancer patient myself during that time. And I traveled to Edgewood for a month for 5 days a week. And the second week of radiation, the world shut down with COVID. And I have to say that St. Elizabeth handled it beautifully. And I can't speak for the other cancer patients because I didn't talk to them, but it was seamless. It was if nothing had happened, which is pretty amazing. But Dr. Flora, who heads up the oncology, once said that it's stressful enough to go have to mess with treatment, but when you have to travel, it's even worse. So the cancer center has been a gift. And to a lot of people, and you're gonna hear that. And both I and my fiance Chuck, who's here tonight, both go there several times a year, and we're there quite a bit. And it's just nice being able to go 7 minutes instead of over to Edgewood. So this is something that can affect everybody here. And we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Terry Bogan, and I'm the director for the Dearborn Cancer Center, and I I appreciate you allowing me to come speak to you this evening and give you a little bit of an update on what we've been up to over the last year. So over the last year, we gave over 5,000 infusions. So that's 5,000 times people did not have to travel through the bridge, 275, to go over to Edgewood. And if you're one of those 5,000 people traveling, you'll know that saved you on any given day, an hour and a half to 2 hours and sometimes 4 hours. So thank you from all of those folks that didn't have to travel to Edgewood. We've given over 3,000 radiation treatments in 2025. We've done over 5,000 mammograms performed on site, and we've had over 104,000 patient encounters. So our infusions have gone up from 30% from 24 to 25 from when I was here reporting last year. So our numbers are increasing. And I think you'll find that the trust in our center is increasing along with usage. And so we appreciate your support and ask for your ongoing support. A few of the other things that we've been working on over the last year, actually the last several years, we do screening and diagnostic mammograms at the center. And we have performed over 400 no-cost mammograms to women in the area. We've also increased our mobile mammography presence. We are out in the southeastern Indiana area much more often with a mobile mammogram van than we ever were, because we know that we can send our patients to the breast center and get diagnostic imaging and biopsies, and they can also see their surgeons at the same time. So we are working in conjunction with our grant programs and with our local and state programs to provide no-cost mammograms to make sure that every woman who wants a mammogram can have one regardless of insurance or payment ability. We pride ourselves on that, actually. A few other things that we are currently working on. We are planning a melanoma no more clinic on September the 12th in conjunction with our St. Elizabeth Physicians Health Fair. This is a screening event for people for melanoma. And unfortunately, we have a lot of melanoma in this area because we have a lot of farmers. And so those folks are at higher risk, and sometimes it's difficult to get in to be screened for melanoma. So we're going to be holding a free event on September the 12th. Last year we held a fall fest because we wanted to make sure that the community knows that we're here, and we wanted to be embedded in the community. We had over 300 participants, which was twice as many as we anticipated. We ran out of pizza, we ran out of cotton candy, so this year we're planning on a bigger event. So anyway, we had a lot of fun, and we'd love for you all to come out and join us. A few other things that we have in the works. We are working with our grant folks to try and hopefully develop a Nourish pantry, not quite to the extent that Edgewood has, but we do want to make sure that if our friends and families at the cancer center are in need of food or staples, that we can provide that as a basic necessity. So that's one of the goals that we have for this year, is implementing a modified Nourish pantry. We also provide pet therapy, which we have a Bailey here today, who I think everybody enjoys. We do a lot of mind, body, and spiritual wellness. We have meditation and calming breath work for patients that are receiving their treatments. We have chaplain services 5 days a week for patients that feel the need to just have somebody to talk to and to provide some spiritual care. We have some very signature wellness programs. We do Treat Yourself Thursdays, and we do peaceful pauses during your infusion visits. So we really are working to make sure that we are taking care of your mind, body, and spirit while you're there. We have healthy cooking demonstrations and nutrition education. We have a registered dietitian on site who can meet with patients to make sure that we are addressing any kind of nutritional needs or questions they might have. We have a full-time nurse navigator who works with our patients and families to make sure that they're getting appointments and getting things scheduled as needed. And hopefully that it's not falling to the patients or the patient's families to coordinate in with those efforts. We also partner with the cancer support community to provide free emotional support, survivorship resources, and education. And we also have a boutique where we can provide free wigs and prosthetics through a local grant from our community partners as well. And all of this to say we are providing advanced cancer care right here in our very own community. one of the highlights for this year and one of my goals for many years has been to provide access to a breast specialist surgeon. And I am very proud to announce that Dr. Kelly Mackesy, who is a breast specialist, is now seeing patients in the Dearborn Cancer Center. And so she will be able to provide initial consultations and follow-up services here at the Dearborn Cancer Center. So we're happy to welcome her as part of our family as well. We also provide access to clinical research through our multidisciplinary oncology teams. And in closing, I just want to say to our donors and to our grant partners, our volunteers, our team members, to our support group folks, thank you. Your commitment helps to remove barriers to screening. It brings state-of-the-art services into our very own neighborhoods, and it makes our cancer center a place of hope. So thank you very much for your support.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Terry. And now I'd like to ask Amy Bulak, Maria Ziegler, and Jan Tyler to come up to the podium. And while they're coming up here, I do want to thank the St. Elizabeth leadership that's in the audience. We appreciate that. All the Dearborn ambassadors, you know, that participated today. So that's great. So I'm going to turn it over to these ladies. And
You travel light, EG. You've got the whole gang with you. I love it.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Jan Tyler, and I am a 27-year breast cancer survivor. And I've lived in Dearborn County my entire life. And over 20 years ago, a group of volunteer women, along with some help from the American Cancer Society and Dearborn County Hospital at the time, helped us form an all-volunteer breast cancer support group. And that breast cancer support group has been meeting monthly for over 20 years. And we've reached a lot of women, a lot of family members, and we're very proud of that. We've continued that partnership with St. Elizabeth. And over the last 2 years, St. Elizabeth has sent 3 different specialists to be guest speakers at some of our meetings. And so it's been great. We've also gone there for a tour so we can keep up on what's new, what is offered, and the state-of-the-art equipment at St. E Cancer Center is amazing. And so a couple of people that have actually had treatment there are going to share some of their experiences with you.
So my name is Amy Bulak. Good evening. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer in January of 2024. So just before the cancer center kind of opened. So I had surgery and treatment at the hospital, but also had to travel to Batesville or Edgewood for care instead of being able to come like right down the road from where I was working at the time. So impacting travel times, getting somebody to give me rides to different treatments. I was fortunate to not have to do chemo. I did radiation, but it was 20 trips out to Batesville, several trips to the Edgewood Center. And so now with the Cancer Care Center here, right here in Dearborn County, I'm able to make a much shorter commute. Get everything I need right there. The boutique is there for things that I need. My oncologist is there. My breast surgeon is there. I can get my mammogram there because I do that twice a year. I actually just got to where I'm now back to annuals at this point instead of going twice a year, but still just having it locally has been just such an amazing impact for us, and the treatment has been exceptional. And I've been a St. E patient my entire life. So St. E has always been kind of like up there stellar for me. So thank you for your time.
I'm Marla Ziegler. Unlike Amy, I am only a 1-year survivor. I had my cancer anniversary on April the 4th when I was told those words. Everyone that I have encountered at the cancer center has been exceptional. They are such professional people, very personable and very compassionate. From the person that greets you when you walk in, to the lab technician that takes your blood, to the mammography technician and the ultrasound technician, the physician's assistants, everybody that I've encountered has been so positive and has made this journey much easier. So I really do hope that you continue to support this, because when you go through cancer, it's not only a physical problem, but it's mental and emotional and spiritual and social And you need that support, and they have all those people at the cancer center. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then, and not to embarrass that, but I'd like the other ladies that came with this, would you please stand up and go up and stand up, like, give them a round of applause. So again, thank you for your time and stuff. I think you see how this really is a great thing. What a blessing to the community, and the county council has been a big part of that. So thank you.
Thank you for all the additional information. I think that everyone has been touched either personally or knows someone who's been touched by cancer. It's been a blessing to have the cancer center. Unfortunately, we're still dealing with cancer and probably will be for the foreseeable future, but to have that facility here. I mean, when I went through chemo, it was at Dearborn County Hospital back in the day, but this facility where all the infusion units are private, that's a blessing. I mean, that's a huge thing. So yes, Dearborn County is indeed blessed. St. Elizabeth put the cancer center here in Greendale. And the county had, our intention was to pledge $1 million and pay it over a period of 4 years. So this would be payment number 3 out of Riverboat Growth and Development. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other questions or comments? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you very much. And thanks for what y'all are doing.
Glad to see you're all doing well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You too, E.G.
Board.
On a personal note, my wife, actually 2 years ago, had, fortunately, we got the tastiest version of the crab sandwich, so she had to get pretty too, so thank you.
These are the additional.
Thank you. My name is Rob Calvert. I'm the president of the Dearborn County Park Board. I am joined by the indispensable Dan Vallis, Gene Cleary, and Nicole Bailey, who have been absolutely phenomenal in the process of trying to see this $1 million raised so we can get the $1 million match through the Stellar Pathways program. And I am thrilled to say that we're very close to accomplishing a daunting task. What I'd like to do first is switch the members of the notes on the agenda. First thing is the $205,000 that we would like to contribute as part of the park board budget to make sure that we can add that to the tally. And before we get to the final part, which I'm happy to say will be far less than the $125,000 that you see before you. So that $205,000 would go towards helping build up to that $1 million mark, so we can get the full $1 million match from the state for the Stellar Path.
Those would come out of the park board's riverboat fund.
Dan, you want to get specific? I'm sorry,
But yes, that would come from 1179 bond.
Okay, that fund currently has a balance of $423,000.
Well, it had 655, but then we committed the 250.
Right.
And then, so that would bring it down to about 400,000. And then if we could commit this 205,000, that would bring it down to around $200,000 for that.
And this is park board funds and your board's already approved this allocation.
Correct.
I move we allow them to dedicate 205 more thousand to the match for the Stellar Pathways.
Out of their 1179.
Yeah, out of their 1179.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Any other questions or comments?
My only comment would be that this board all agreed on the to adjust the park funding from 1% to 3% of the riverboat fund that we had accumulated, because we wanted to put the money in your hands for the park board to say, how do you want to spend your money and where do you want to spend it on all the parks? And your board for 3 years in a row now has committed funds from that specifically for the parks projects and putting your money where you want to see it spent. So support letting our park board do what they're there to do.
I totally agree. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay.
Nay.
We'll do a roll call vote.
No.
Dan? Glenn?
No.
Dennis?
Nay.
Mark?
Yay.
Tim?
Yes.
Yay.
And I vote yes, the motion passes.
Thank you. The next part, you have before you, initial ask of $125,000, it's over the top. And, fortunately, we, need to substantially chop that down, because we are now, $16,400 shy of $1 million, which we are thrilled about. We would be even more thrilled if we could get that $1 million. Now, we are expecting 2 weeks. A meeting was supposed to happen actually prior to this meeting, but it got delayed, so we are going to be talking to the Tourism Bureau and seeing what they might be able to approve. So if you saw fit to approve the 16,400 and tourism and the Tourism Bureau actually came through with more than that, 16,000 is wiped off the table. You get that all back, and we don't need it because the tourism board helped us get over the top. But up to $1 million will be matched by another $1 million, which gives us a total of $2 million, half of which is ours, to improve Bright Meadows Park. And that is the goal. So the ask is for $16,400, not $125,000, which I'm thrilled to have to say.
Okay, if there is a motion to approve it, I would like the motion to state that if additional fundings is from another source, this 16,400 would roll back to the county.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Can you remind us, when do the funds need to be committed and when do they need to be spent? August 1st is when they have to be submit the actual paperwork that has to show all of them. And then Nicole, do you want to give the actual details to the rest of this question?
So the application is due August 1st. We are looking to try to have all our commitments roughly before June, because we still need the consultant to do the paperwork that's necessary for the estimated construction cost for the project to have in that application as well. So that's why we're trying to get ahead of this, so the consultant has enough time to do what they need to do for that application. So that application is due August 1st. It will take approximately a year for the state and federal governments to review and approve that. We are looking to start engineering drawings in late 2027 and construction in spring of 28.
And I should add that there is a priority list of projects, first of which would be improving, widening the paved walking trail, which has been something we've been talking about for over 3 years now. So
And it's badly needed.
So that is now number 1 on the list, followed by pickleball, basketball, followed by an inclusion park that will go next to the playground, and then some other projects, you know, so we've got a 1 through 7 priority list.
Fitness equipment, amphitheater, stage, park the drive. That was the last 3.
And also, just to let you know too, with the funding that's available, it will not only do the trail that was planned before, but it will add additional to where there's the loop that's existing, but there will be added trails to make a complete loop that is ADA accessible. So that's an addition to what the prior priority was with the widening of the trail, but now with this project, it will actually make a full loop of that is ADA compliant.
So we do have a motion. We need a second. Is there a second for the motion?
Can you repeat the motion, what the motion is?
It was that we would, $16,400, but if the tourism comes through, it might be 0, and that money would not be spent by the council.
And we would do that out of 4915 growth and development. It was advertised that's one of the funds it was advertised out of.
Okay, yes.
Okay, is there a second to Doug's motion?
I'll second the motion. If we're getting 16,400 free money, by putting it up there, and I would think that Convention and Visitors Bureau would do some kind of match, so we would get back the difference if they do 10,000.
Right.
We would only be committing to
If tourism gives 10,000, then we're only gonna need 64.
I think you're right, though, that you're doubling your money. And I think that's really an important thing to remember, that it's not just that, but you are getting double what you're putting. Very good.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Do a roll call. Dan,
Nay.
Glenn,
Nay.
Dennis, Mark,
Yes.
Tim.
Permission to explain my vote. I think this council very much cares about the parks and all the projects you guys are doing, and I can't applaud you enough for the tremendous amount that you've raised so far. Because you came, and you asked for money, and this board said, we want you to go find some additional partners, and you guys went out and you put the work in and you found the additional partners. But I also believe that this board said, we want to put the money in your hands and let you make the decisions, and so we have committed those funds to you guys and you have put them back in. I think there's still going to be opportunities to put some more money in before this deadline. I sit on the Conventions and Visitors Bureau. We also have a council appointment on Convention and Visitors Bureau. We'll do everything we can to support those extra funds for you guys. But I think in alignment with kind of how we all put the money in your hands and said, spend it where you want to spend it. Again, can't applaud you enough, but I'm a nay for the additional funds.
Sorry, motion fails.
2 out of 3. Thank you. You guys are doing incredible work. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
So Connie, did you have? Tom, still here? Tom, did you have a resolution? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Did you have a resolution about riverboat funds?
I do.
Okay,
And it's just housekeeping because we forgot to sign it at.
did you want to do that next?
Just have to acknowledge you've seen the. Different, that's what I had on there first. And it should be. And all it does is report what you did last year, and it's been uploaded and done.
So we need a motion to approve the TIF report.
I don't know if you need to approve it, if it's already been done and uploaded, just get on the jet sheet done it.
Okay.
And you look at it.
Just
Has everyone looked at it?
Yeah.
You're good with it, Susie?
everyone's seen the TIF report, so. And then-
I do have a resolution. You have a copy in your.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's just how you divvy out your money.
Yes.
You do. You have to pass it.
okay, we have a resolution,
We're not.
2026-003. And it shows that we agreed to at budget time on how the riverboat funds are to
Yes.
be divided between the different entities. Do we need a motion to approve the resolution, Connie? Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
That's the 2026-003.
Yes.
I'll
Who
make
made
the motion.
Thank you,
Liz.
Dan. Is there a second?
Second.
We did this at budget.
Right, we already committed to this.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now everyone needs to sign this, so please don't leave those.
Mine or yours?
Yes. Put you back.
Is it coming down to signature? And there were minutes that were emailed to you. Any corrections to the minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. While we're, have you sent the?
Yes.
Oh, we did.
Pages, sign here. Then that's gonna go down.
Not just all at once. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, before we adjourn, I'll let Doug sign that, so. So when Leah sends an email to the elected officials and department heads regarding submitting their budgets for the coming year, she usually puts a note on there that council has asked that raises not be included when they submit their budget. So I would like to read something that I put together and would like council's blessings. Leah could add this to her email to the department heads. As elected officials and department heads prepare budgets for 2027, Dearborn County Council asks that no raises be included. During budget hearings, council will determine what rates are appropriate. Additionally, county council requests the following. In light of the negative impacts of Senate Rule Act 1, property tax revenue, and the out-of-state local income tax credits on the county's revenue, all elected officials and department heads are asked to make every effort to reduce your 2027 budget by 5% with efficiencies and cost savings. While we strive to provide needed services to our citizens, our county is faced with financial challenges. Your assistance is appreciated. Now, I know that some departments are probably not going to be able to do that. Hopefully, some can find creative ways to provide their needed services and find ways to keep their budget at least flat and potentially save, some savings there. So unless we put this forward, there's really probably no impetus for them on their own to decide this might be a good way to proceed. So I was just looking for approval from council to allow Leah to add this kind of language to her message regarding the 27 budget.
I agree.
Is everyone fine with that?
I'm great with that.
Good idea, and in light of the fact that our budget was cut last year, and if we ran the same numbers again this year, we would still be underfunded, so it's probably a good idea.
I think it's just important that the department heads understand that we need to be really conservative with their spending.
More things we need.
Sure. Sure.
Salary ordinance and stuff.
But at any rate, Leah, I will email this to you so that you have the language. I'm sorry, Con.
Thanks, Liz.
You bet.
I've got grant paperwork for the park board. They received $125,000 from Dearborn County Community Foundation, and we just have to, there's no county match, just vote for this.
Is there a motion? Do we need a motion?
Yes.
Motion to approve the grant?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Second.
Mark, sorry, did you first?
That was first ones.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Was it just the one grant?
Yes, and then there's a salary ordinance, just housekeeping. We need a motion on that too.
Oh, you do? Okay. Is there a motion for the salary ordinance?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
You always beat me on that one.
Write that down, Tim and Dan.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Do we need to sign the salary ordinance?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone please stay. Anything else, Connie?
That's it. Remember, there's a yay and an A.
Yeah, please.
I've got something, Liz. I've heard a lot of discussion out in the community of the lawsuit against 4 individuals by the Dearborn Emergency Unit. And one of the rumors going around is that the county is going to be paying for their defense,
Like what?
for their defense in this lawsuit. And I just wanted to see what.
Let me an update. I can give an update. So the Dillsboro Emergency Ambulance Unit filed a motion for leave with the court to file a third-party complaint. Since we're fairly deep into the litigation time-wise, they're outside the normal time frame to file a third-party complaint, so they can only file the third-party complaint if the court gives them permission to. And so there's a hearing on that May 29th. There's a hearing on that. And if the court finds that they're not able to file the third party complaint, then those 4 individuals would not be named in the suit. If those individuals are named in the suit, then as far as Mr. Thatcher goes, Commissioner Thatcher goes, it would be turned over to insurance to see if there is coverage there based on what the allegations are. If as to Councilman Baker, for the timeframes alleged against him, he would have been on Dillsboro Town Council. So I've put John Watson on notice for Dillsboro. Hey, this has been filed, just so you're aware. And then they would have to do the same review on their end. And then the 2 individuals that are not associated with Dillsboro or the county, I think we had been told that they would not be covered by the county's attorneys. And I think they've actually, I know they've actually already discussed this matter with attorneys in town.
Yeah, I just wondered because people were asking me about it. I don't really know. I think it's important they do know.
Yeah, so as of right now, those 4 individuals have not been added to the lawsuit. We have a hearing on that May 29th at 2:00 in Ohio County.
Do you have any idea, or does Connie have any idea of how much money the county has spent?
I do not. I don't.
On attorney fees regarding this?
I don't know.
Is there any way we can find out?
It just all depends on what you need to know, and I mean, we can tell you what we paid Barnes and Thornburg, but I don't know for what, because we hire them for a lot of stuff.
But that's where the thing stands with litigation.
But is it possible to get a breakdown of?
Yeah, we have to pull every bill that we have. It wouldn't be anything we get overnight.
Right, I
It's
understand.
tax time, we're busy.
But people were just asking me and I said, I tell them I don't know.
It is what it is, it's already spent, whatever we pay.
Right, but at the same time, I think we need to be transparent with the public.
Anyway,
Here's
Yeah. Thank you, Connie. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so Dan and Tim, I think that was simultaneous. Okay,
Come on.
Come on, Dan, slow them down.
all those in favor of the motion to adjourn, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Don't feed.
I'm not gonna sign anything for you, Leah.
Your nay on this one.
Help me move it.
Yeah.
Check your name box, yeah.
No, I appreciate it.
I know, I updated them.
I
I did.
So
You're a nay on this one as well.
It's locked open at the end of
Those
May.
are all mine.
This is just updates on our, what you're doing at the library.
Thank you.
Then we'll be doing a ribbon cutting and.
I went by Steve order.
But some of it'll be based on concrete.
He was a nay on that.
I just want to kind of give you that it's coming along really well, and I think it'll be a great.
You said that's a ribbon cutting or the grand opening or what was
Nay
that?
on this one.
So May 28th.
So I would